Good morning. Hello. So who's here today? Hey, Iris. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being so prompt and early this morning. Surely a sign of a very good week. Okay. We're going to start in a minute. Good morning, Unati.
Morning, morning. Hello, everyone.
Okay. I think we can go ahead and start. We're going to bring our attentions to our bodies now. Just making sure that you're checking in with your body after the weekend. Maybe feel what it feels like to be inside your body today. Remember, there's no judgment. We're just observing, not adding any value to how we feel. You're just showing up exactly as you are. So I invite you now to close your eyes. Does that feel safe? And also just make sure that your body is positioned properly, nice and tall in the spine. Shoulders back, heart shining forward. Feeling as if there's a string pulling you up at the top of your head. Your seating bones are evenly placed. If you need to pull out some flesh on the sides there, I invite you to do so. Just making sure that you are nice and evenly seated. I invite you now to begin observing your breath, checking in with your emotions. How are you feeling today? And begin to notice your breath. And we're going to begin to deepen our breaths here, extending that inhalation through the nose, long exhalations through the mouth. Deep, juicy breaths. Using your breath to find some stillness in your body today. And I invite you now to place one hand onto your heart and the other hand onto your belly. You're going to breathe in through the belly, through the chest, and then out through the mouth. So 2 inhalations, in, and out through the mouth. Deep breath in. I invite you to continue with these for a bit. And don't worry too much if you can't feel the distinction. You'll get there eventually. Just hold your hand on your belly, holding your hand on your chest. And we're inhaling 2 inhalations and 1 long exhalation. Going to do about 10 of these together. And on your last one, bring your hands back down. And just bring your breathing back to normal now. You might be feeling a bit of tingling in your body, in your head. Extending that breath and connecting with your body today. Okay, we're going to bring the fingertips to the sides of the mat. Deep breath in through the nose, and as we exhale, we're lifting up with the arms, stretching them up, pointing the fingertips up to the sky, pretending you're holding a beach ball between your hands, nice and strong. Another deep breath in, and we're floating them back down. This time we're sending the pinkies towards each other, so opening up in the chest, just slightly. Another deep breath in through the nose, and as we exhale, we're lifting up in the arms, stretching them up, fingertips pointing up, holding that beach ball, making sure your knees are not flying up. Deep, juicy breath here, and as we float them down, squeezing the shoulder blades together, pushing the pinkies energetically together. And release one last time. Deep breath in through the nose. And as we exhale, we're lifting up in the arms, stretching them up, fingertips pointing upwards, arms parallel from each other, holding that beach ball in your hands. Another deep breath in, and as we exhale, we're floating them down, squeezing the shoulder blades together, squeezing the pinkies energetically together. And release. I invite you now to create some big juicy circles with your shoulders, lifting them up towards your ears and back, all the way around. Using your breath as you go, we're loosening up in the shoulders. And in the opposite direction, deep, juicy breaths. Very good. Going to place the fingers on the shoulders now. Deep breath in through the nose, we're warming up in the shoulders. Drawing big, juicy circles in the sky with our elbows. Breathing deeply as we go. And you can keep your eyes closed here and just listen to my voice if that feels good. It feels safe to do so. Enjoying that full range of motion in the shoulders. And in the opposite direction, we're warming up these shoulders today. Very good. Nice and slowly and intentionally. And release. I invite you to push your hands out in front of you. We're going to do some wrist rotations here, warming up in our wrists. And in the opposite direction, you can go in both directions or different directions. Just finding some movement here and a warming up in those wrists. Very good. Shaking out the arms. We're going to take another deep breath in through the nose here. And as we exhale, we're twisting over to the left, placing the right hand onto the left knee and the left hand behind the seating bones. Deep, juicy breaths all the way into the neck, twisting through the spine, looking into the far left corner of your eye. And you don't have to open your eyes, just send your eyes to the far left corner. Deep, juicy breath here. And on your next exhalation, we're coming back to center. And take another deep breath in through the nose. And as we exhale, we're twisting over to the right side. Twisting all the way into the neck, into the far right corner of your eye. Enjoying that lovely twist in the spine. Deep breaths. And when you're ready, on your next exhalation, you can come back to center. Very good. We're going to draw some circles in the sky with your nose. So start rolling your head all around. Big juicy circles with your nose in the sky. And remember, we're sending healing intention and positive energy to all of the places that's a little bit creaky in our bodies today. Sending extra tenderness and gentle care. And remember, it's not about the way your postures look or any kind of aesthetics. It's all about how you feel during your practice. You're paying attention to how we feel, you can change directions. Paying attention to how we feel and choosing only what feels good. Very good. Come back to center now. I invite you to just feel the warmth that you've generated in your neck, in your shoulders. Become aware of the sensations inside your body right now. Going to take another deep breath in. This time we're leaning over to the right side. Deep breath in through the nose. And as we exhale, we're rolling forward across the legs, stretching out the lower back all the way to the left. Rounding in the spine as we go towards the back of the body. Over to the right. And across the legs again. Enjoying these sensations in the spine, in the hips. Paying attention to where it feels good. And also sending healing energy to the places that feel a little bit tight and sore. Deep, juicy breaths here. And we're going in the opposite direction, so lean over to the left side. Deep breath in as we exhale, we're rolling forward, all the way around, loosening up in the spine here. Just maybe rolling through some of the stiffness from the night's sleep. And come back to center. Very good. We're going to make our way onto hands and knees now. You can go very slowly. Okay. Going to make sure that our wrists are directly below our shoulders and that your knees are directly below your hips. And remember, we're tucking in those your bottom ribs. We're hugging the belly button up to the spine here. Just straightening out in the spine in the back. Making sure that your fingers are evenly spaced. Excuse me. We're going to take a deep breath in through the nose. And as we exhale, we're dropping the belly, pushing the heart forward, stretching through the throat, through the neck, lifting up in the pelvis, and lifting up in the crown. Another deep breath in, and we're rounding the spine, tucking in the tailbones, chin to chest. Feeling as if there's a string pulling you up in the middle of your spine. Deep breaths here. And I'm going to invite you to do a few of these at your own pace. Using your breath as you go. Full range of motion. And when you've done about 5 of these, or as many as you feel you need this morning, I invite you to come back to tabletop. And we're not sinking down into our shoulders here, so like we're trying to maintain that flat tabletop, engaging the core here, using your shoulder muscles, engaging your lower back muscles. And we're going to do some balancing and strengthening here, so take a deep breath in through the nose. And as we exhale, we're lifting up in the right arm and the left leg. Deep, juicy breaths here. Another deep breath in, and we're bringing it back down. Going to do the same on the other side. Deep breath in through the nose. And as we exhale, lifting up the left arm and the right leg. And release. Very good. We're going to do that one more time on each side. So we're going to, after we've done raising the arm and the leg, we're going to meet the knee and the elbow in the middle. So we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose. And as we exhale, stretching out that right arm, left leg. One full breath here. And on your next exhalation, bringing the elbow and the knee together. And we're stretching it back out. And release. Let's do the same on the opposite side. Deep breath in through the nose. And as we exhale, lifting up in the left leg, up the left arm and the right leg. One full breath here. And on your next exhalation, bringing the left elbow to the right knee and stretching it back out. And release. Very good. Going to open up in the knees here, as wide as your mat, bringing your toes together. We're going to walk out the palms into extended child's pose here. And you can bring your forehead to the mat. If you need to use a pillow to support yourself, I invite you to do so. Deep, juicy breaths here. Very good. Okay, you're going to just walk your palms in just a little bit, not all the way. You're going to lift up in the right arm, sending that right arm forward, getting a little bit of length there. And as we exhale, we bring that right arm underneath the left arm into a lovely twist in the spine here. And you can use your left hand to leverage. So if you put it up towards the top of your mat, it's a different sensation. If you bring it down closer towards your right arm and just push out a little bit, you'll feel an extension through the spine. Deep breaths. Bring your right shoulder to the floor. And you can release, coming back out. Going to do the same on the other side. So stretching out the left arm, feeling length in that left arm. Another deep breath in, and we're bringing it through underneath the right arm. Bringing the left shoulder to the floor. Remember, the right arm you can use, send it out towards the mat. If that feels better, bring it closer towards your arm. Stretching through the spine here. Deep, juicy breaths. And when you're ready, bring your arm out. Bring your knees back to center, underneath your hips. And we're going to do some rotations here, just warming up in the wrists. And remember, you can do as much or as little as you feel is appropriate for you today. I'm going to turn my hands so that my fingers face towards me. You can also keep them facing away from you if that feels better. We're just warming up in the wrists a bit before we go into downward facing dog. Just some slight rotations here. Deep breaths. You can bring your hands back to normal. I invite you to tuck in your toes here. And we're going to rock side to side, loosening up with those toes. It might be a little bit painful if this is not something that's normally in your practice. But it really does get better the more you practice it. You can bring your hands behind your back here, opening up through the chest, opening up through the neck, shining the heart forward. Deep, juicy breaths. And release. Shake it out. Going to bring your palms back to the floor. We're going into downward facing dog here. So Keep your toes tucked in, placing your palms onto the mat. Deep breath in through the nose, and as we exhale, we're straightening the legs here. Deep, juicy breaths. And you can find a little bit of movement here, bending one leg and then the other. Deep breaths. You can also find some stillness, extending through the tailbone and extending down through the heels. I'm going to take another deep breath in here. And we're going to bring that right foot forward into a lunge. You can help the leg along if you need to. Coming into a lunge here. And we're going to just enjoy that lovely opening in the groin area. And if you'd like to rock back and forth on your toes, I invite you to do so. Just extending a little bit. And if you have it in your practice today to come up onto that right knee, I invite you to do that. It's absolutely okay to stay with your hands on the floor. That's also perfectly fine. Lifting up in the arms. And release back down to the floor. Going to step back with the right foot. Back into downward facing dog. Deep breaths here. Another deep breath in, stepping forward with the left foot. Remember, you can help it along if you need to. Going to rock back and forth here. Deep breaths. And you can stay down here with your palms on the mat if you like. If you have it in your practice today, you can come up onto that left knee. Lifting up in the arm. And release back down. You're going to step forward with the right foot this time. Into a forward fold. Really enjoying the opening in the back of the legs. Deep, juicy breath. Spend a little bit of time here exploring what feels good. Deep, juicy breaths in through the nose. Long exhalations out through the mouth. You're going to walk your hands to the outside of the left foot here. Stretching in that left leg. And walk it over to the right side. Extending through the back of the right leg. And if you wish to hold onto your ankle here also, and just squeeze a little bit tighter, you can do that. Whatever feels good. Come back to center. We're going to bend the knees here. Deep breath in through the nose. Coming up halfway lift. Extending through the crown here. Extending through the tailbone. Deep, juicy breaths. Another deep breath in and we falling forward. One more deep breath in, rolling up vertebra by vertebra into standing. Coming up into standing, I invite you to take a moment here to just feel what it feels like inside your body. Find some presence right now. Deep breath. Okay, we're going to do one round of flow. So you can come to the edge of your mat here. One round of sun salutation. Say good morning to the sun. Deep breath in through the nose, and as we exhale, lifting up in the arms here. Slight back bend if you have it in your practice today. Another deep breath in, and we're falling forward. Placing your palms onto the mat, we're going to take another deep breath in, stepping back with the right leg into a lunge. A few deep breaths here. We're going to step back with the left foot into the plank pose. And we're going to take one full breath here. And we lower the knees, chest and chin to the ground, sliding through either into Sphinx pose with your elbows on the mat, or you can place your palms on the outer edges of your mat here and push up into baby cobra. Remember, we're pushing our shoulders away from the ears here, so we're not sinking into our shoulders. Deep breath. And on the exhalation, we're coming back down. Very good. Going to tuck in the toes here. And remember, you can push through child's pose into downward facing dog, or you can go straight into downward facing dog if that feels better. Deep breaths here. Then we're going to anchor through the left foot. So dig the left foot into the ground, support yourself. We're going to lift up in the right leg. And remember, you can lift it as high as it's accessible. So even if it's just slightly off the ground, that's perfectly okay. We're going to bring that right leg all the way through between the palms into our half pigeon pose. So we're bending this right leg so that the foot is almost parallel to the mat. I mean, we want to get there, but that's obviously doesn't have to happen today. Just enjoy the sensations in your body right now. If you have it in your practice to sit up, I invite you to do so, but there's nothing that you have to do in this posture. I invite you to explore, feel what feels good, and keep some deep, juicy breaths going. If you need to move your belly out of the way, please adjust yourself in whichever way feels good for you. You can sit up, stretch your arms out to the sides. If you're able to do this today, some days you might be able to do it, and other days not so much. That's perfectly fine. Wherever you find yourself today, meet yourself there. If you have it in your practice to lift up in that back foot, grab a hold of it if you like. These are all just variations, right? So you can energetically work towards them. There's no, there's nothing here that you have to do. Please choose whatever feels good for your body today. Just remember your breath. And you place your palms onto the mat, underneath your shoulders. Deep, juicy breath in through the nose. And as we exhale, we're tucking in the toes. And we're going back up into downward facing dog. Deep breath, yeah. Another deep breath in, and as we exhale, we're stepping forward with the right foot into a lunge. Rooting through the left hand here, we're lifting up in the right arm. And bring it back down. Another deep breath in, and we're stepping forward with the left foot into a forward fold. Another deep breath in, we're coming up halfway lift, extending through the crown, through the tailbone. Deep breaths here. Another deep breath in, we're falling forward. And one more deep breath in, we're rolling up, running your fingertips up your legs, and coming into mountain pose. Take a moment here to be present in your body. Feel what it feels like to be inside your body right now. Okay, we're going to do the other side. So make sure that your feet are hip width apart, directly below your hip joints. Shoulders back, heart shining forward. Feeling as if there's a string pulling you at the top of your head, tucking in your pelvis slightly. Deep breath in through the nose, and as we exhale, lifting up in the arms. Bringing the palms together above the head, slight back bend here, if that's in your practice. Another deep breath in, and we're falling forward. Deep, juicy breath in here, and as we exhale, we're stepping back with the left leg into that lunge. And another deep breath in. And we're stepping back with the right foot into plank pose. You're taking one full breath here. And we're lowering the knees, the chest, and the chin to the ground, sliding through either into Sphinx pose with your elbows onto the floor, extending through the crown here. You can also place your palms on the outer edges of your mat. Deep breath in as we exhale. Coming up into baby cobra. And release. Very good. Begin to tuck in the toes here. Deep breath in through the nose, and as we exhale, coming up, into downward facing dog. Deep, juicy breaths here. This time we're going to plant the right foot into the ground. We want to lift up in the left leg as high as is possible for you, but even keeping it low is okay. Bringing that left knee all the way through between the palms. And extending that back leg out. I invite you to find what feels good for you here. Stretching out through that left hip joint. Whatever feels good. Rock back side to side. Lift up in that back leg. Grab a hold of it if it's in your practice today. Exploring a bit whatever feels good. Just opening up in the left hip. And don't forget your breath. And when you're ready, you can place your palms onto the mat here, underneath your shoulders. Tucking in the toes, deep breath in through the nose. And as we exhale, we're coming back up into downward facing dog. Find a few breaths here. Deep, juicy breaths. And don't be afraid to vocalize these breaths. It's great for release, for letting go of things. On your next exhalation, you can step forward with the left foot. Remember, you can help it along if you need to. Stretching into the groin area. We're going to plant into the right arm, lifting up in the left hand. Sending those fingertips up towards the sky. Another deep breath in and we're bringing it back down. Bringing the right foot forward into a forward fold. Spend a few moments here, hanging out. Going to take another deep breath in. We're coming up halfway lift. Palms just above the knees here. Bending the knees slightly, sending energy through the crown, through the tailbones. Another deep breath in and we're lowering back down. One more deep inhale and we're rolling the fingers up the legs. Coming all the way up into standing. Take a moment of stillness here. Just being present in your body. Okay, good. Okay, just want to check the time. Okay, we're going to go onto our backs. Yeah. Rolling onto your back. We're just going to finish off with some postures on the mat. So in your lying down, you can hold onto your knees, rotate your ankles if you like. Going to send one leg out straight, bringing the bent knee over the straight leg, stretching through that lower spine. And if you send your left arm out long, looking out over that left arm, you will feel the twist all the way from the neck down to the spine. And come back to center. Going to do the same on the other side. So bending the right leg, lengthening through the left leg. Deep breath in, we bring the bent knee over the left leg, stretching out the right arm, looking out over that right arm. Stretching, twisting all the way from the seating bones up to the neck. And come back to center. We're going to happy baby here, holding onto your feet. Remember, you can grab hold of your knees if that feels better, or your thighs, whichever feels better today. I invite you now to energetically push your seating bones down to the floor, straightening the spine here, lengthening through the coccyx. Deep, juicy breaths. Yeah. And when you're ready, you can bring your legs down to the floor. Bring your arms up above your head, stretching from your fingertips all the way to your toes. One big full body stretch. And relax, bring your hands to your sides, palms facing up. Your feet just slightly falling open here. Deep, juicy breaths. I invite you to take a few moments of stillness here with me. Just allow your breath to relax you and sink your body into the mat, into the floor here. With every exhalation, we're relaxing just a little bit more. And I invite you to stay here for as long as you need to today. And if you need to come out of it, you can wiggle your fingers and your toes. And bend your knees. Slide over to one side. And come up into sitting. This is a good time also to just Set some intentions for the day, for the week, for the rest of the month. May you have a beautiful day and drink lots of water today. Flush out any toxins that you might have brought up through this practice and be extra gentle with yourself today. Thank you for joining me. And there's a few of you that I'll see later. In fact, I'll see you all later, but there's some one-on-ones that I'll see in a few minutes. See you guys just now. Bye, everyone.